Before we begin, I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year to make all these special videos, so if you like the content here, please consider subscribing to help fulfill Project 10K. Thank you. Now on to the video. The Glow Racers line came back a few weeks ago with its fourth wave, featuring two new releases, Dan Carcia and Ryan Inside Laney. And while I, like I'm sure many of you, am kind of tired of the Glow Racers line at this point, it's certainly nice to see Dan Carcia because, believe it or not, despite the copious amount of next-gen variants we get every single year with nearly every racer toy line, this is the first ever variant of Dan Carcia, after, of course, his normal one. Which is pretty surprising, especially when you consider that Dan Carcia first released all the way back in 2018 in this online exclusive multi-pack right here, meaning that they've had many chances to make a Dan Carcia variant. They just simply didn't do one until now. Well, meanwhile, we got like 7 Ryan Inside Laneys and 5 Paul Conrevs. Welcome to the next-gen variant club, Dan Carcia. You'll probably never leave it. Can't wait for them to make 5 more of this guy. Anyway, guys, welcome back to another review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Glow Racers Dan Carcia. So let's get started. I'm pretty excited because this is the first review I've shot with my new camera, and it's scary how clear this thing is. Look at this. It's crazy. I'm still not the biggest fan of the lighting, but it does have much better lighting and brightness and coloring than my previous camera. I just think I need to maybe change the light bulbs in my room so I have ones that are a bit less yellow, or maybe have this repainted. We'll just have to see. This is such a more professional camera, despite still just being an iPhone. You know, they've really went above and beyond with the cameras in the last few generations. This is an iPhone 14. I used to use a 7. If you want more details, I did a camera tested video last night. You can see it glows in the dark, that image of McQueen, I'm sure we're all too familiar with. On the back, you can see Ryan, Chase, Lightning, and Fillmore, glows in the dark, etc., etc. We get the point. Oop, we've all seen Glow Racers before at this point. Another reason why I'm excited for this review is because my old camera never really picked up the Glow Racers all that well, and this camera has a built-in night mode, which I also tested out in my camera test video yesterday. So hopefully the brightness of this guy comes off a lot better. Let's see. Just free him from his cage here. And here he is, Dan Carcia out of the package. I saw a lot of people say that they actually preferred this Dan Carcia to his original, and if you feel that way, honestly, I'm not going to blame you. It's a pretty nice design. You could, wow, why is this one so much lower to the ground? You could really see the changes in next-gen molds from China to Thailand here. Look at that. He looks weirdly differently shaped. I'm sure that's been a thing for years. I'm just noticing it now. I really like what they've done with each of the Glow Racers. They're typically very clever when they choose what parts to make a certain color. Of course, there are some characters where the full main color has been changed, but for those who have just their decals changed to be glow-in-the-dark, they make really clever changes in order to maximize how many of those decals can be glow-in-the-dark. For example, on Dan Carcia here, they took not only the yellow he previously had and made it a glow-in-the-dark color, they also took the light blue that he has on his hood and changed it to be a glow-in-the-dark yellow. Personally, I think I still prefer the original simply because I think I like this yellow color much better than the glow-in-the-dark yellow, but this is still a nice look here. And honestly, this could probably be a pretty good Dan Carcia substitute if you don't have his regular variant. It's close enough to the original, just with some changes like on the hood there. With my new phone camera, we can look at all the wonderful graininess of Thailand printing up close and personal. Look at that. This is going to make me such a more nitpicky reviewer, more so than I already am. I really got to get used to this zooming in. Piston Cup, Combustor, Carbon Cyber, and Synergy on the side there. Number 80, of course. And you can see they actually did keep some of the light blue, such as on his wheels, as well as there by the 80, although it's a much more faded color. And they also made the gaskets logo here yellow and glow in the dark instead of the original blue. And it's printed in a much different location than it is here. It's more so on the top, less wrapped around the side, and I definitely prefer how it looked here. Is it like that on this side? Yeah, I guess it is. I was just checking if mine is an error or not. Now, this is the original Danny Carcia. I know he's been re-released, so if any of you guys in the comments have his re-release, let me know if that's something they changed there, if that's just on this variant. I definitely prefer the original, but who knows, maybe that placement's more accurate. 80 up there on the roof, Gasket's logo on the spoiler, his rookie stripes, and the letter G on the back. Everything you'd expect to see with this release. Finally, there's a look at the base. Now I'm going to go stick this car in front of my ceiling fan for a few seconds and see how it glows. With the glow racers, it's always kind of hard to figure out what part of these to hold up to the light when I'm reviewing them. They're all so finicky and so very specific with what you hold up to the light. They're all very light sensitive. Unfortunately, this phone isn't all that much better at capturing the glow-in-the-dark designs. It definitely looks better in person than it does here, but regardless, still another solid glow racer. Again, just because of how particular these are with where you hold them up to light. The side should be glowing more, and certainly is in real life, and so should the wheels. But there you go. Another glow racers reviewed and done. We'll be taking a look at Ryan inside Laney pretty soon. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.